For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Shannon de Rehove. Researcher and analyst Professor Raymond Suttner joins me for Suttner's View, a weekly commentary on South Africa's political scene. Welcome, Professor.
Thanks a lot.
The media reports that the ANC will take a pounding at the polls, receiving less than 45% in Gauteng. How do you understand this development?
I think it's significant. It seems that these figures may be valid and come from the ANC, as the press said, because the ANC did not deny these figures. And what it seems to suggest is that there is a new factor. There are a number of new factors. On the one hand, people are very cynical about parliamentary politics, about the ANC leadership, its corruption, patronage, violence, and its contempt for its basic support base. On the other hand, it seems to indicate to me not that the DA is making gains, though they may make some gains in Gauteng, but that the economic freedom fighters have managed to address the electorate in a manner that resonates. I think that it's very interesting to watch when that 3-month-old who was buried, who died of from inhaling tear gas, that funeral, there were people in red berets and red uniform attending. What they're doing, the EFF, is very similar to what Winnie Madikizela Mandela used to do. She would always be present at a time when people had suffered a loss. And they also speak a language that resonates with people. When they say things, for example, we will take the land without compensation, we'll nationalize the mines, all of these things. Now, they haven't indicated that they have a plan for dealing with it, but the very fact that they address people's poverty and the sense that this wealth that was ill-gotten will be recovered without compensation is something that resonates with people. Now, one might well ask, why should the DA not make these gains? Because it appears, with all the criticism that there may be, that the Western Cape may have been governed with less corruption than other provinces. My reading is that the DA has not really identified itself. It's not just a prejudice that's a white party, but the DA has not thrown its weight behind the problems that people are suffering in the rural areas, particularly in many of these areas that have been conflict areas. I said on the interview on my recent column that the DA brings litigation to force the government to have a vote of no confidence. It's got money for litigation. Has it ever brought litigation to help the poorest of the poor have basic facilities? We've seen a number of NGOs have done this, and we've seen how certain research institutes have associated with rural people. The Center for Law and Society in UCT, for example, have associated with the Organization for Rural Democracy, and they have together brought pressure with the aid of lawyers, with the aid of their expertise, but they've gone alongside these people. They've listened to them. They've heard their grievances, and they've taken up their matters. Now, Parliament in general, what I see this poll as showing is a disillusionment with representative democracy, because people have started to feel that their vote does not change their lives. And not only the ANC, every party in Parliament swears an oath that they will uphold the constitution of the country. So when you are in Parliament, the majority of those who voted for you are from your own party. But you actually have a responsibility to the public as a whole. And what they have shown is that they are not discharging that responsibility, whether they're ANC, whether they COPE, whether they're FF Plus, or whether they are any other party in Parliament. That to me is the wider problem which we are confronting here, that there's a delegitimization, self-delegitimization by Parliament and parliamentary parties of the constitutional order, which was hard won.
What do these electoral indications portend for future political developments?
I think that in terms of governance, we may see a situation where the ANC doesn't get a majority in Gauteng for a start. And that means that they will have to decide who do they want, who will be the most suitable coalition partner. I should have mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why I think the EFF makes the gains it does is that the language that it speaks, even if it is unrealistic, even if they haven't thought out the complications of nationalization, that the mines are in fact already owned by the state. What exactly does it mean to say you'll nationalize or you'll take the land and all of those things? Now, the ANC has to ask itself with whom, if it is to co-govern in Gauteng, possibly somewhere else, who can it co-govern with in a way that is most in line with what it wants to achieve. Now, in the early days, one would have said it wants to achieve transformation, but I have become more cynical of what they want to achieve. And really, what they want to achieve beyond remaining in power themselves and benefiting themselves and their relatives and associates it seems to be a primary thing. But they have to be voted into power by a primarily black electorate, so that going into coalition with the DA could very well undermine their status as the preeminent black organization. If they bring in the EFF as a junior partner, they will still be perceived as a primarily black-oriented organization. It may well be that the conditions of such a coalition will exact a heavy price, that the EFF may want to take the land portfolio or the mines portfolio, and it could create some measure of chaos unless the EFF agrees in that situation to negotiate or to abide by collective responsibility, cabinet responsibility. But everything that we're saying about the electoral system must be seen in terms of a broader crisis which we're facing in this society. It's a constitutional crisis because the Constitution itself is being undermined by acts of violence, by subversion of the administration of justice from the policing system to the prosecution system and through the Judicial Services Commission in the appointment of judges. So we're dealing with a number of broader problems, problems of unemployment, problems of a lack of economic growth and development, and a loss of confidence by investors in the stability of the South African society. So all these machinations which we may see ahead of us if the ANC doesn't get a majority in Gauteng and loses votes elsewhere they are the electoral symptom of a broader crisis which I think needs to be addressed by citizens beyond those who are in political parties, including those in political parties, but going beyond that. Thank you.
That was Professor Raymond Suttner speaking about politics and elections in South Africa.